is the fucking news.
So in the news this past week, we have quite a few things, some good, some bad. First of all, I want to talk about the new trailer for The Leprechaun Returns is out. And if you guys haven't seen that, there's a link down below for you to check that out. There's a brand new actor named Lyndon Porco.
Porco?
We're going to get our asses kicked here.
It's a porno.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking.
Now, he's not the only thing that's 12 inches.
But yeah, he's a new character actor, I guess, for the Leprechaun, which I didn't even know it wasn't the original guy. And I was like, wait a second. Wow, he's doing a really good job.
It's not Warwick Davis.
No, it's Warwick Davis, but it sounds like him a little bit.
A little bit.
He was a little bit more active. I was like, Warwick Davis is kind of old. So him jumping off the bed like that in the trailer, I was like, that can't be him.
As Brad Thornton said, he said that Warwick Davis is like 89 in midget years.
Yeah, he's got to be pretty old. I mean,
Warwick Davis?
Yeah.
He's maybe in his 40s because he was like 12 on Return of the Jedi.
What about in fucking...
which is in 83.
Willow.
Yeah, I mean, he was a kid. He was a kid on Return of the Jedi. Like, really? 12 years old.
That's crazy.
'Cause I'm a big Star Wars freak. So, yeah, he at 83, and where was that? 35 years ago.
I'm looking him up.
47?
He was born in 1970.
Okay, so 48.
Yeah.
I was off by a year.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Oh, and by the way, guys, this is the director, Steven Kostanski, who did The Void. So if you're a fan of that and you like... Actually, if you've seen some of his earlier work, then you will know that this makes sense in a lot of ways. So what did you think, though?
Well, I'm glad that you prefaced that, because when I came in, I was like, I don't want to say that I'm really excited about the Leprechaun Returns trailer until it's, illustrated that Steven Kostanski is doing it.
Yeah.
That is my reason for liking it. Or wanting to see it, should I say.
Right.
December 11th, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right, yeah.
Absolutely. I reviewed all 7 of the Leprechaun films on Sinister Cinema there. And weirdly, it was funny going back. It was the movies, and this is what happens with all these like ones that I go back to rewatching it, because I do the whole series like in a good sitting. And I remember disliking this and this and that. I actually liked the one in space 4 the best, which was shocking, because I was like, oh, this one's gonna be rough, and I laughed almost the entire time. It's just so silly, it's so fucking stupid, and I was just having such a blast with it. It's the exact opposite of Death House. It's like the bad that's fun.
Right.
But yeah, no. So when I saw this trailer, I do like the first one. I mean, Jennifer Aniston's first movie there. And then you got Steve Kazamayass from Summer School, which I'm a big fan of Summer School.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the boyfriend, the love interest. And, I also like, Ozzy and, the kid there, and the fact that Ozzy's returning, because that's the thing now. And this is actually something I want to talk to you about, which is funny because Halloween 2018 has ignored everything but the first one, right?
Right.
Which that's not the first movie to do that. Texas Chainsaw 3D did that. There's been a lot of movies that have done that.
Right.
But here we go again. Leprechaun Returns is ignoring everything but the first one. And they're going back and they're bringing Ozzy back in. So I guess that's just going to be the trend.
Yeah, it definitely will.
Mark my words.
Yep.
Nightmare on Elm Street will do a sequel to 1 and maybe 3 with Robert Englund and Heather Langenkamp. Well, ignoring everything else.
And I guarantee you will see Aliens if they decide to go back to it.
Okay.
They're going to do an Aliens 3. I'm not looking forward to this whole retconning bullshit, to be honest with you, but I can see, it's like, how many years did it take for us to get through their fucking heads that that's what the feel we wanted? We didn't necessarily want you to replace anything. We just wanted to go back to where it was good and try to do that.
Leprechaun Returns.
Back on topic.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. No, the trailer's fun. I'm not a trailer guy, so I will watch usually 10 to 20 seconds of a trailer and I cut it. Because I'm like, okay, it sold me or it hasn't. And once it sold me, I instantly shut it off.
Right.
I will not watch anymore. Because trailers fucking ruin movies.
Okay.
So I watched like 20, 30
2018,
seconds.
Halloween.
Oh my God, dude.
Dude, the trailer for Halloween 2018 should be titled Halloween 2018 for Dummies.
All right.
Here you go. There's the movie.
It's the Cliff Notes version.
Yeah. Cliff Notes, yeah.
I want to know what everyone's trailer was that ruined the movie for them. Like you saw everything. I think the worst one ever for me was Falling Down.
Really?
You actually get to see, spoilers, people. You actually get to see him shot and falling over the pier at the end of the trailer.
Why did they
And I was
do
like,
that?
Are you fucking kidding me? Because I watched it and I was like, back in the day, and I was like, oh wow. I'm like, that looked like the end of the movie. And I was like, nah, they didn't show that in the trailer. Terminator Genesis. Ooh,
Same thing.
Oh my God. That showed like, it was almost everything in the trailer was from third act.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be allowed to show anything from the third act in your trailer. I think there should be like a clause.
But then it should be a good rule to follow anyway, because then you beef up the movie in the first acts anyway, the way it should be.
Right.
Like, I understand in some horror movies, you kind of like that new Ouija movie, the Ouija Origins.
Origin of Evil?
Yeah, which was, I liked. It kind of had a
Very
weird
good.
Evil Dead feel to it, surprisingly.
Mike Flanagan, man.
But the first two acts had like a little tidbit at the end of each one before it kicks off into the third act, you know what I mean? So, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. Trailers can be really bad, but you should really just make them teasers.
Oh my God.
And then people can get the vibe of the acting, the look, the atmosphere, and just kind of get an idea of what it's about. Just do that.
Don't put the third act in your fucking thing. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, Leprechaun, I'm fucking down as a motherfucker. I love Steven Kazansky's The Void.
Yeah.
Very, very much. And when I saw it, you should have saw my face when I saw the announcement.
Right.
That it was like, he did The Void and now he's doing Leprechaun Returns. I was like, Leprechaun Returns?
Yeah.
Like, that seems like the film he should have made before The Void to then get The Void.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll do a Leprechaun movie, but you got to let me make The Void.
Well, and he even said that they wanted to do something serious because they wanted to be taken a little bit more seriously. And
then he did Leprechaun.
And then he did Leprechaun, which is like, yeah.
And then he worked with Porco.
Yeah. Which I'm telling you, man, I'm there's some spotty acting in the trailer, just me regaling of it.
Goofy.
It was really kind of like, you know, it's a little out of touch because, you know, you got to do modern day sort of. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, like it's always up in the air when you see teenagers and stuff like that who are just like acting stupid and talking about the internet and stupid shit like that to me for whatever reason.
Well, yeah, the trailer, it says that essentially it's like girls that are building like a fraternity house.
Right.
And they're making it green. Which, green?
Yeah,
leprechauns? Yeah, you get it? No,
I don't understand the connection.
I don't understand. No, fuck it. Yeah, I'm watching this. I'm watching it. December 11th. Look for it on my channel.
What do you guys think? Sound off in the comments below, anywhere we post this or on our website. Also in the news, we got George Romero's The Amusement Park from 1973, a movie that was kind of like a PSA, they say.
It's like 60 minutes long.
Right. And it was apparently the director or the writer, Daniel Krause wants to get it out there because he says it's really relevant and it's actually one of the best things that Romero actually ever did.
Sure.
In recent news, we heard that his wife he had like, I think it was like 50 some projects that he had written.
Wow. And
I'm like, well, some of those probably aren't that good, but this is a big one. So they're trying to get it restored. And I guess they're going to do some sort of funding for it.
Okay.
Little
fucking Kickstarter or something, or
there's a page up at the Romero Foundation site to help pay for restorations of the film. So he says basically that he thinks this is like, even though it's not a horror movie, technically, it's one of the more horrifying things. He thinks that people should see of Romero's work and that, you know, it's from 1973. So I'm kind of curious because it was shot.
Didn't the guy call it a revelation?
Yeah.
If I saw that.
You know, it's a lot of hyperbole, fucking like blowing it up.
Yeah.
Maybe it really is that good. And I would definitely be interested to see it. I mean, would you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure this guy's like, you know, he's looking at his bank account.
Yeah.
He's like, what do I got?
He's like, my career's dead. I need a fucking...
Romero's just died. Oh.
This is the foot of the door.
Here we go. We're going to capitalize on it. I'm going to fucking I'm going to say it's a revelation.
Now they have to listen to me because...
Death House 2.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, I'd have to know what it really is.
Sure.
I don't know what the really...
They have a couple of pictures. There's like basically the Amusement Park film is reportedly about an elderly gentleman who sets out for what he thinks will be a normal day at an amusement park and is soon embroiled in a walking nightmare, the likes of which you've never seen.
So it sounds like Carnival of Souls. a little bit.
I think it's going to be more of along the lines, I don't want to say Rob Zombie, but in that vein of like not too supernatural of any sort. It's probably just like fuckers, like crazy fuckers out there, like torture this old guy.
Yeah.
And they wear masks. That's kind of what I think of it.
I'm guessing, yeah, if it's PSA, it's probably like, I don't know, not being nice to the elderly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go with your grandpa to the amusement parks.
so he doesn't get gang raped.
This is a PSA brought to you by Pizza Hut.
Right? It's got to be better than Bruiser. That's all I gotta say.
Ooh.
That's all I gotta say.
In other news, though, guys, this is pretty sad news for a lot of people. It's not necessarily horror news, but I felt like it was relevant because everybody's been talking about it. And that is that Stan Lee has died at the age of 95. So, of course, the internet has been erupting with sadness and people talking about his work and how big of a contribution he has given to the world in all the things that he does. I mean, 95 is a pretty... That's a long time to live.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, things come to an end always. I hate doing news on like everybody that passes away because it just seems like as I get older, there's too many. And then it reminds me that I'm going to die soon too.
So the horror show, man, that's the real horror of life.
Right. Yeah.
You're going to expire.
So sad news, guys. I mean, I'm sure most of you are pretty sad about that. Even if you weren't a fucking Marvel fan or, and you were a DC person, I think you can respect that the man put a lot of work out there and worked with a lot of people to do a lot of really amazing and creative things, even outside of film. So obviously with comic books. So, but that's pretty much what I just wanted to bring up. So.
I think anyone who's like I'm a DC guy, not a Marvel guy.
Right.
That's fucking stupid.
That is dumb.
That is so stupid to me.
Either way, guys, make sure you raise your glass if you drink whatever it is and celebrate the man's life by popping in something, a movie, reading a comic, maybe even just checking out what he's done.
Take a dead kid milk shot.
Yeah, take a dead kid milk shot.
For a
totally appropriate. In other news, though, we do have Derek Mears officially cast as the Swamp Thing, and you also told me somebody else is going to be involved in that as well.
Kevin Durant, yeah.
Kevin Durant, so, which we had, and I mentioned to you, we had as our actor for the Ouija Cop episode that we did, so big fan of Kevin Durant. I've seen him. He's done a lot of really awesome character roles, so I'm kind of curious what he's going to be in this.
I think if I saw correctly, he was going to be the villain.
But what do you think of Derek Mears being the Swamp Thing?
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah,
no, it's cool. I love that this is going hard R. Like they've announced, like we want to take this as R as they'll let us, is what they said.
Yeah.
So they're going as R rated as will be let of them. So and I know James Wan is producing it.
Really?
Putting a lot behind this.
Yeah.
And because this is supposed to be one of the things to get people to come over to the DC streaming platform. That's what this is going to be on.
Right. They're reaching for the outer fringes a little bit because they're not having too much success, I think, on the top of the list.
Yeah, the freaking Titans.
Just even in the DC universe in general.
Right. No, they haven't had a ton of success. They just, a lot of people love to hate on that.
Everybody's trying to do the Guardians of the Galaxy now, basically, like having their offshoot
universe.
Comic to make it big.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Len Weissman, who did the Underworld movies, is going to be headlining the show. He's going to be directing some episodes there. I really look forward to this show. Very, very much. I know Wes Craven's movie back in 82, I want to say.
Right.
It's fine. It's goofy as fuck.
It is really goofy,
right? Isn't she the chick in it? It has probably the worst mask I've ever seen in my life on the villain.
Yeah.
It looked like they bought it from a fucking Dollar Tree before a Dollar Tree existed.
They didn't have a lot of faith in TV or movies back then, for stuff like this, I don't think.
I don't remember. I'm not super familiar with Swamp Thing, so he talks, right? So Derek Mears is going to have to talk.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
It'll be, so I don't know what his acting
They'll probably
range is like,
deepen it or something, lower and pitch it down.
Yeah.
Bet you.
Yeah. No, I heavily look forward to this show because of the hard R. Anything that goes, has to promote, we're going hard R.
Well, they said that with the Meg, and then that shit got fucking turned around.
I know, but this one, they're actually doing it, supposedly.
I wonder if, so the younger the producers get, the better off we are, I think.
Right? Oh, yeah.
But do they have enough money? That's the problem. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I would like to see what it is. I mean, I'm hoping that it'll be as atmospheric as I'm picturing in my mind.
Right.
Because it's definitely not something. It's going to take some caressing and some balance to really make it, I think, work.
Yeah.
But they
have to blend some elements.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
And horror and yeah, I look forward to it, of course. I'm not going to get my expectations too out of control.
What do you guys think?
Yes.
Sound off in the comments below. Also, in the sort of news. Uh-oh. There was an article that was posted about the state of things in horror today.
Oh, fuck Vogue.
We'll try to keep this as short as possible, but I have felt like we needed to bring this up as a sort of a landmark of what the fuck happened, that the internet caught fire in the horror community for this guy named Taylor Antrim from Vogue magazine, who did an article about, remember when horror was good? Oh, boy.
I do. Do you?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, remember in 2002 when they had...
Right. Remember right after Scream when movies were amazing?
Oh, God, I feel so bad.
Oh, my God. Remember in 1998?
I mean...
Fuck you.
They definitely had a following, like those movies that, you know... Oh my God!
I just what you did last summer. Is that
just yeah, like some of those things, like
Urban Legends.
Scream started it all for those type of movies. But yeah, when I think of the epitome of horror, I don't go Scream.
Oh God!
Yeah,
I like famously hate Scream.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's fun, but
and I'm not going to say it's not a classic. I'm not going to try to like tell people they're wrong for loving it, or I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah,
I see the influence it had. I think it fucking ruined horror, in my opinion, for many years. But I just don't like the movie.
Well,
I just never have.
And this guy's calling stuff like Hereditary and comparing Quiet Place as like the epitome of horror, which Hereditary definitely is.
Oh, absolutely.
But he puts it down in such a way that it's like a drama. And I'm like, dude, that movie is like scarier than The Witch, in my opinion. Like,
it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. Like, I don't care what you think of Ari Aster or the actors or whatever. To me, that is a horror thriller kind of movie.
Well, we'll get, everyone's going to fucking be all over the Hereditary bandwagon soon enough when Toni Collette is nominated.
Oh, yeah, and I hope she gets it. I think
that's going to happen. And if it does, it's going to be a huge moment for horror.
I think so, too.
Because we haven't had one since her in Sixth Sense.
But don't get your hopes up because you know that the organization doesn't really give a fuck about horror.
I know they do, but I do think this is the year that they're going to give it. Because Essie Davis should have been for the Babadook.
Right.
And it didn't happen.
The Witch, even.
The Witch, who? Anya Taylor-Joy? Or
just even in just
like Best Picture?
Yeah, Best Picture or whatever.
I mean, that would have been wonderful. I never thought that would
I'm not a big fan of that movie, but I could see it being...
fantastically made film.
It could at least be nominated for something.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. I honestly think that 2018 is possibly the best year of horror that I've had since maybe the 80s.
Yeah?
I love this year.
It's been a really good year this year.
It's been an amazing year. And of all the years for this to come out, for me, it's like a total fuck you because I would love to know what movies the guy watched.
Yeah.
And I would love to sit down and talk to him and understand his level of knowledge in horror.
Well, he saw It, Chapter 1, so he knows.
In 2017?
Okay.
Right. Does he mention that?
I think he does. I forget now, but because after you read it, you just get...
Is he saying that as a negative?
No, but he talks about like The Haunting of Hill House and how it's not really scary and all this stuff and uses that as a disappointing, and then he
did not see the bent neck.
He does give Corinne Kusama some love from The Invitation, which I really love that movie. But yeah, this article, you guys need to read it if you haven't already. It caught a lot of people on fire. Yeah. Pretty much every horror talking head had something to say about this show.
Well, does this guy have a horror opinion? Like, is he someone who's known to be a horror fan?
No.
Well, then what the fuck is he talking about?
I think that what it was is they needed a piece.
But why now?
I don't know.
When Hereditary is so loved And like, it's weird. It seems like a weird time.
It's out of touch a little bit. Yeah. You clearly he doesn't have that much of a horror following. And that's the thing. I see some of these reviews, like these top critics that go out to see horror movies and then they give it a 0. And I'm like, really?
A 0. Yeah.
A 0.
I don't give anything a 0 but Death House.
Yeah.
That's it, dude. I'm telling you. I usually like 3 is like as low as I'll go pretty much on anything.
Well, it's like, just because it's a mainstream movie doesn't mean that you shouldn't take the genre into account. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're not a horror fan, it's okay that you have an opinion about it. I have no problem with someone having an opinion about anything they watch because everybody experiences something different up until that point. Like, that's why you have fans of Jaws or the fans of the very first Friday the 13th over the rest of the entire franchise because they grew up right before that moment.
Right.
And they saw that and it had a big impact on them. So your nostalgia is a weird thing. But this guy, I feel like he's like, he's into dramas or romance movies. And it's like, hey, they're like, can you watch this movie? Oh, yeah, I'll do it. Where's horror? It's dead today. Yeah, I don't know.
I looked at some of it. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm not wasting my time.
There's just some stuff in here. It just seems like feels like he's just missing kind of a lot of it. And if you're going to say something as bold as that and being as a big of a kind of
as Vogue,
right, you're gonna get some flack. I mean, yeah.
Well, you're stepping foot into a territory that's not yours,
right?
You know what I mean? You're not a fucking horror name,
and we're rabid as fuck, dude. So
yeah,
well, you're listening.
It's like somebody who isn't a science fiction fan coming in and blasting Star Wars, or
right.
You know what I mean? Like you're going into a mosh pit. Like you know what I mean? And you're just like, you're sitting in there and you're trying to make these claims against genre fans.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you don't want to fuck with genre fans, dude. They're fucking ugly, man. Trust me, I deal with them on my channel all the time. This was misplaced. It was stupid. They should, they don't need to apologize for anything stupid like that either. Like, just wash your hands of it. Whatever. Yeah, everyone will forget about it.
He'll probably not want to be a part of it. But, when I see somebody that hasn't been involved in horror, regardless of this guy or not, I always think, hey, let me show you the whole fucking world, dude. I got so many fucking things I want to show you.
Yeah.
Like, this is Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Welcome. Here's this movie, this movie, this movie, this movie. Let's go.
And that's why I want to see the list of movies he watched in 2018.
Right.
Because I'm sitting here like, okay, what did you watch? Because I personally watched well over 100 new horror films in 2018 from 2018.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
And I've either liked or loved 80% of them.
And there's fucking so many independent films that are popping off right now. Like this year in particular.
Oh my God, so good.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah. Like, I think we're at the height of it. Mm-hmm. I think, and it might plateau for another year, I hope, at the very least. Yeah. And then it might waver down again, and we might be back into like a 90s era. Or
my dude, don't. I can't survive.
I mean, there's a few golden nuggets, like In the Mouth of Madness, obviously, is a good one in the 90s.
There's good horror movies in the 90s, but they're few and far between.
Yeah.
It was a rough decade.
So what do you guys think? Do you think 2018's kicking ass like we do, or are we completely off base and that guy was 100% right?
Yeah. Go apply for Vogue.
Yeah. You got a new job. It's lined up.
Yeah. I agree. What the fuck does Vogue know about horror movies?
Did you see Fangoria had a savage moment on Twitter, and they were
of all the places.
They were like talking about, Fangoria was like, I think that the style and artistic flair that is in today's fashion world is really lacking this year. And and they were like, no, but in all seriousness, like I have no problem with someone having an opinion.
Sure.
But they're wrong.
Absolutely. It's just, why is Vogue even throwing their hat in such a thing?
Yeah,
that's weird to me.
It is really
like Vogue. Weird. Like, who reads Vogue for horror news or horror?
They're trying,
opinions?
And why would they pick that guy to write that if they're trying to get any horror fans?
It's just weird. I think they're talking to that audience that doesn't like horror,
right?
And is going to be like, what happened to The Exorcist and what happened to Jaws? Now it's all torture porn.
Maybe,
you know what I mean?
Maybe that was spot on for their audience. Then
exactly. I think that's what it is. I think the wrong people caught it,
right?
And all the people who read Vogue would be like, horror today is just disgusting and lame and all this. And I agree. That's how they think.
Yeah.
The majority of people I talk to hate horror.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're right on. So I guess that's what the reality is here, is that for the general audience,
for them,
horror does suck.
I
nowadays.
I don't know. I have a hard time because I'm not in that mindset.
I'm not either, obviously. I'm fucking sitting here on a horror podcast.
Yeah.
It's a fucking part of my life. But there's been a few films, and this is the resurgence of horror interest, and we're getting movies that are actually getting budgets and stuff like that.
TV shows.
And we're getting, TV shows. But you got, Halloween, which got a good budget to it. You got fucking Hereditary, which has gotten a lot of, attention, and a lot of critics and whatnot love it. There's been a lot of horror in the last 5 years that has gotten a lot of love from critics, where horror normally would not.
Right.
It follows.
Seems like those outer
Babadook.
fringe ones too, like the ones that kind of cross into like another genre a little bit.
They bleed over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and if it gets people infected with the horror bug, then that's fine with me.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it made like $300 million.
really, really?
Yeah, it made $330 million or something insane. So,
Wow.
yeah, good for them. And we need more big, and fucking Quiet Place made like 230 million.
Right.
Or something. Great. Good. Let's get some horror back, in the mainstream. I'm fine with that.
It'll trickle down to the independent and keep pushing.
Yeah.
There'll be more money for the independent area because of the big budget successes.
And anybody who just hates on something because it's like mainstream or popular can go fuck themselves. Just from me. That's
Get
not
the
Beyond
fuck
the
out.
Void. That's me.
That's it for the news.